Brian Michael Bendis and Scott Godlewski split the teams up as the League and Legion are cast throughout time as Batman and the United Planets race to find a way to stop the Great Darkness from spreading even more. Brian Michael Bendis continues to build up the mystery of this great darkness affecting the timeline as we take a look at where it sent some of the heroes, leading to some cool, if a little too brief, adventures in the 1940s with a cameo by Alan Scott's Green Lantern, as well as a stop-off in the future belonging to Kamandi. While the previous issues did a pretty good job of balancing out the huge roster of characters while they were together, this issue begun showing some of the cracks that come from so many characters that we never really get any proper time with any specific group, as the book jumps around timelines way too much. The good thing is though that at least it seems like that was the last issue, that this is where it's going to happen since they're all rejoined at the end, and at least it leads to a really fun predicament of certain members of the Justice League either aging into old men or turning into teenagers thanks to time travel shenanigans. Rose and Thorn making a return was great since Bendis has been using that character throughout his run on the Legion as well as some of his Action Comics runs, so to see that character keep coming back is really cool. But again, it also felt kind of random at this point in the story when realistically she should have been involved in the beginning, especially given her role in the future with the United Planets. Scott Godlewski continues to make the book look fantastic with his brightly coloured, well-sequenced artwork. I really like that he did define each of the different eras the heroes were in, like the 1940s were done in a sort of sepia tone, while Kamandi's Future Wasteland had a kind of shadow cast over everything and it muted all of the colours and made it look like there was some sort of great catastrophe, which there has been in Kamandi's time, so I really like that attention to detail. Justice League vs. the Legion of Superheroes issue 4 was a bit all over the place in terms of storytelling thanks to the immense number of characters involved in the story, with seemingly more characters joining each issue, leaving the amazing art to do a lot of the heavy lifting. I'm going to give this issue a 6 out of 10. Justice League vs. the Legion of Superheroes issue 4 finds Brainiac, Naomi, Mon-El and Kamandi head into the ancient Leviathan building, trying to find Computo to see if she can turn on the system. Brainiac's commands aren't answered, but Naomi doesn't think that it can hear them. Mon-El asks if they need to get into the vault, ripping open the doors like it was nothing, impressing Kamandi, who asks how he did that. Mon-El announces them all, wanting to do a fly-through of the base, but Naomi wonders if Brainiac can use her cell phone to call the Justice League or help them get back to them. But Brainiac knows he'll need a lot more materials and equipment, and those materials and equipment haven't even been invented yet. Brainiac trails off from his talk, making Mon and Naomi wonder what he is doing as he thanks Naomi, thanking her for giving him hope, lighting his Legion ring up and heading deeper into the base. Elsewhere, the Legion and League monitor the Great Darkness as it continues to grow. Batman learns all about the United Planets and how all of the crisis protocols are in effect and they are just awaiting the Science Police's authorization. Chameleon Boy wants to call his mother the President of the United Planets as the others want to find out what the Darkness's purpose is, and Triplicate Girl thinks that they need to brace themselves for the fact that their friends might be lost to time forever. Batman doesn't want to think like that since Gold Lantern and the other members were already victims of the Great Darkness and it moved them in the time stream, yet they are fine so they can assume their friends are still alive and well, just lost. Rose and Thorn never remembered Batman being so hopeful, introducing herself to the hero again, revealing that she is the Special United Planets liaison for the Legion of Superheroes. She soon gets word from the Science Police, who want them to leave the planet for their own safety, ordering everyone out of the building and to be given flight rings. As the Legion and League move out, Batman asks if Rose is somehow immortal or if she is there via time travel, but she says that she just ages extremely slow. The heroes spot the Great Darkness still growing above them, but Rose assures them that Computo and the Science Police are on the case, wanting to keep moving to safety, but the heroes wonder how far back in the timeline that means they're going to have to go. Gold Lantern meanwhile finds himself in 1940s era Metropolis. Kala notes how the Great Darkness has followed him there, or it's at every point in the timeline. Someone asks if Kala is okay and if he's responsible for the dark thing in the sky, but the Lantern doesn't know how to answer Alan Scott's question. Green Lantern introduces himself and Kala recognizes him from his studies as Alan asks what the storm above is about, but soon learns that Gold Lantern might not be from Earth, wanting to know his story. Kala says that he was sent there against his will as he spots a biplane flying towards the darkness. The plane smashes into the darkness and is ripped apart as it is sent to the 31st century, where the Legion save the unconscious pilot and turning the plane into pink flowers to avoid a fiery crash. Rose takes charge, asking for the pilot to be taken to the medbay, but Batman wants to speak with someone in charge to get the bigger picture on what's going on. So Rose takes him and the other heroes to the United Planets and to see their president R.J. Brand, who isn't happy to see Batman and the League there since it means time travel shenanigans have ensued. Brand tells the gathered heroes that the best way to contain this darkness is within New Metropolis and hopefully spare the rest of Earth and the surrounding areas. The heroes tell her though that it's not just happening in their time, but at different points throughout the entire timeline at the same time, and that's why they have to talk with her since they need to work together to solve this. Brand thinks that this is all because the Legion insist on constantly abusing the time stream, but she insists that they can solve this all together. Rose asks what the protocol is if they cannot solve this crisis, but Brand doesn't have an answer for her. Elsewhere in the timeline, Colossal Boy is woken by Wonder Woman, who asks if he can shrink in size to a normal size so they can talk better. Dawnstar joins them as she finds that there is no signal on the flight ring and that they are in the year 1962. Suddenly, Computo contacts them via the rings, telling the heroes through some static and glitches about the Great Darkness. Naomi, Brainiac 5, Mon-El and Kamandi meanwhile head deeper into the Leviathan base, with Mon-El telling Kamandi that he can go run off and play in the jungle since they don't need him anymore. Brainiac asks for Naomi's phone, taking the device and ripping it open, which shocks Naomi. Brainiac asks for Mon-El's flight ring, but the man doesn't want to give it up since it means something more than just being a flight ring. Suddenly, Computo contacts them through the ring, telling them of the Great Darkness and to stay where they are since they're about to attempt a temporal group reversal to bring them all back together. Brainiac is glad that they figured it out as Computo tells all of the groups across time to embrace each other and be ready for an unusual jolt. The heroes begin to enter the time stream as Alan tells Kala he still has millions of questions, and Kala finds he does as well, thanking Green Lantern for leading the way as all of the teams are brought back to the 21st century. Batman knows that wasn't meant to happen since they were meant to go to Legion Plaza in the 31st century. The League are also shocked to find that Black Adam has aged about 40 years, while Green Arrow and Aquaman have been turned into teenagers. Batman confronts Brainiac 5 about playing with the timeline for selfish reasons, demanding he fix this now, but Chameleon Boy thinks it's too late as the Great Darkness outside has completely engulfed the skyline.